nigga. Shake fat, straight.
Gotta get the edited version of that.
True. I like this one.
Welcome to another episode of Flagrant Two with X and Lou. If you haven't done so already, please like, share, subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell so you can be tuned into our newest episodes, live or otherwise. Oh man, big week in basketball, man. Big week. I feel like basketball is competing with football right now. Like as far as like headlines, like they're just trying to. I know you guys got the playoffs going on and looking for coaches and stuff, but hey, look at this.
Yeah. It's crazy night in basketball, man. Football been fantastic.
Crazy. Yeah, football's been special. Oh man. So on the night that Embiid goes for 70, on the same anniversary night that Kobe dropped 81, he got Cat going with Cat dropped like 60, right?
Yeah, I think 63.
63.
Mm-hmm.
And he dropped 63 losing.
Yeah,
Embiid dropped 70 comfortably and won.
I mean, I don't know about comfortable. They only won by 10.
Well, I'm saying like comfortable, like he made it look easy. Matter of fact, I mean, if he didn't miss like 5 or 6 shots, he would have had he could have had 80.
Yeah, and not to mention his 2 free throws he missed out of the 23.
Facts. But who had the bigger night?
Oh, come on. Like, what are we even talking about? The bigger night definitely goes to Embiid. No matter how much you love him or hate him, you know, if you want to call him a free throw merchant, if you want to talk about I always talk about how he beat up on teams. If you got under 10 wins, he's about to go for a historic night on you. And, you know, look at the Spurs.
I mean, you go on and play.
Look what he did to the Washington. Don't get me wrong, you do. But
he's not doing that to elite teams.
Exactly. Let's keep it a stack, right? Let's keep it a second. I think this is perfect. They happen to have a fantastic night, and I was thinking about this. Both of them had a fantastic night, and I was really thinking about this thing right here, right? Embiid always beats up on the smaller teams, right?
Mm-hmm.
Always beats up on the smaller teams, and this is where I'm going to have to sit there and interject. And last night, I think completely shows it. Cat goes off crazy, and they still lose. Guess who's the only team that Embiid went crazy on who was a plus 500? Minnesota. And that's where I get to the fact that, you know, we thinking about Minnesota as contenders or pretenders because Embiid shows against the lesser competition, he'll go for crazy nights. He had 50 on Timberwolves.
Yeah.
And that's the only team that he went crazy on all year. And it just shows a lack of what they got going on during the 60-point game last night with Cat. They were forcing it. Like, everybody's mad at the coach for what he said. But I'm sitting here while I was watching the game, I'm like, yo, Cat, what the hell are you doing? Like, yo, get the ball up. This, that, and the third. Because I'm like, you're just forcing it. Yeah. So I said a lot, but you know, go ahead. Whatever you heard, you want to rebuttal to.
Cat shot 35 times, making 21. Out of those 21 makes, he had 10 made threes. And out of the totality of his points, he got to the line 14 times and only made 10 of those shots. Then you look at the flip side, his running mate, who's arguably the star in Minnesota, Anthony Edwards. I believe he didn't have a point up into the third quarter. He went 3 for 11, 1 for 4. When you have guys that regularly need to get into a rhythm right off the jump, Ant is one of them. You got to get into a rhythm right off of the jump. You have to see a make or miss. As a star, you have to see a make or miss. You see a miss, okay, you adjust. Why did I miss? Go back at it. Let me get another shot. I believe he didn't take his third shot attempt until late in the second quarter. When you take that in totality, yeah, they're forcing it. Can Cat still have a big night like that and Anthony Edwards have a bigger night, of course. If Ant gets going early, arguably it gives Cat more room to operate, more room to have a bigger night. And if this is the case, then how come they don't do it on a night-to-night basis?
I'm gonna say it like this: he can't have a night the way he had, and Anthony have a fantastic night. Because at the end of the day, let's think about it. When we think about two teammates who's having 40 plus games, we going back to the playoffs between LeBron James and Kyrie Irving.
Yeah.
And those were 40-point nights each. You got to
Yeah.
understand, Cat had 40 points by the halftime. He had 43 points.
Yeah.
At that point, there's a reason why Anthony couldn't get into it. The defense was playing Cat how they was playing him. He was taking advantage, so you're going to feed the hand. But like you said, it's just the fact they're trying to ramp up in the second half where you only took 3 shots and you've been feeding him. Now you're going into the second half thinking the same thing, like the other team's not going to adjust and start sending more bodies, and then Cat's forcing it up. So it's like it doesn't give, like you said, a chance for him to get in the rhythm. And at that point, they should have figured it out and let Anthony have a little more touches and stop feeding Cat the ball and let him start going, because clearly the defense have adjusted to you. So now you got to adjust to the defense, and they didn't do that. Cat just kept putting up prayers, trying to hope for fouls, and that's not going to work.
And then on top of that, you're playing the Hornets. You're playing where the only star over there is
LaMelo.
Is Melo. So at the end of the day, I mean, this is a game where I'm mad that he got 62 because of how he got 62, because of how pedestrian the overall made Anthony Edwards. Because in my opinion, Anthony Edwards he's a really, really talented player. And you're telling me that he only scored 9 points in that game? He had 11 assists. I guarantee 8 of them went to Cat. And I get it. You trying to feed him, but it's the second half now. We're trying to put this team away. They lost by 3 points. So out of the 11 shots that he took, that's not Anthony Edwards shouldn't be taking no 11 shots. He should be taking anywhere between 15 to 20 shots a night. And that's just as a star player. As a star player, minimum 15 to 20 shots a game. 11 shots, no. You bump that up to 15. Let's say he makes one more and he shot 3 more times. So that gives him 4 for 14. That one shot could have got him to the line and won. Those are 3 points right there. Now you tied. Now you're going into overtime. It's just it's the small things. It's the small details. And a good coach is going to pull you to the side and be like, Cat, you're wilding right now. You're doing way too much. We got to get Anthony involved. We're not going to win this game off of the strength of just you. We got to get Ant involved. Why do we have the record that we have right now? Anthony Edwards. Why are we going away from it right now in the second half when we could have put this team away potentially? So yeah, and then on top of that, look at the second half scoring. Hornets 36 points in the fourth alone. Timberwolves had 18, and you're telling me that your closer, your star, doesn't have the ball in his hands. He's not trying to make stuff stick. Like no, like I don't agree with that game. That this is a game that he could have had an historic night, and they still won because you involved your star.
And I think also with all of that being said, it goes into the fact of we had 2 fantastic nights. One was 63, one was 70. I mean 62, 70. That's 8 points away. Both have fantastic nights. But the difference between those nights is when we look at Philly and we look at Minnesota, offense flows through Embiid all the time. Like these are things that he does nonstop all day. We're gonna get him the ball. They're gonna make this work. Cat is like a second, third option behind the pick and roll between Conley and what's his face and that Ant. And then you got Cat who could, take over and make things shake.
Right.
being a little hub, but that's like the third option. The second or third option depend on the night. It's never the first option. So when you,
Mhm.
like you said, when we move that third option into the first option and the other ones don't get the flow, we already got Conley out, so now that pick and roll ain't there. So the only option you got is Anthony Edwards, and Anthony ain't touched the ball. So now your whole team is discombobulated. And then when we talk about executions in the fourth, this happened just the other day when they was playing the Celtics. They was up by like 5-6 points with 2 minutes to go, and they squandered that game away. Why do I know? Because I had the money line on them and the under, and if they would have just scored those 2 points, I would have got some money. But they did that again, like the execution and this is another game without Mike Conley, which shows that they need that stabilization force in there to keep them all together as a unit. Without him, it's just what happens last night. All of them just trying to get Cat the ball, and it's no matter what the coach says, because just like that famous clip that went, what's that 41-17? He said, what's the other 41 points going to be? Guess what they did in that huddle? The coach said, yo, take a knee. You know what? We're going to go get the touchdown from our boy. And guess what the players did? They went ahead and tried to get a touchdown for your boy Cat, and they messed around and got a loss.
Yeah, that's tough. But I mean, on the flip side of that, I'm a little mad at the Embiid stat too, because the thing is with the Spurs, I get it. They're a young team. They're still trying to figure out themselves out. Wemby, he's still trying to figure out himself, as a player, what kind of player he's going to be in this league. And Pop is still navigating with young guys. I think this is the first time he's had a group this young since Timmy and Parker was came into
early
the
in their
league.
career.
So right. So I say I'm mad at Embiid. I'm not mad at Embiid specifically. I'm more mad at the Spurs. This is on Pop. It's on Pop. You get sent to the line 23 times. I get it. Embiid is very difficult to guard. He's very difficult to cover one-on-one. But you have a premier shot blocker in Wemby. You have to trust him. You have to teach Wemby how to defend with his length and make people fear him with his length rather than using his body to guard, because you're just going to draw yourself into foul trouble, and Embiid is savvy enough to make you get out of position, make you reach, you have to guard with your length. So stay in front of him, stay lateral, hands up, make the shots difficult. Don't get him to the line. Once you get to the line 23 times, that means that he was fouled at least 11 to 12 times, 13 times. He got to the line 23 shots. So he got to the line 12 or 13 times. And the craziest thing is, this is his stat. His stat of getting to the line on a nightly basis is 12 times. He gets to the line on a nightly basis 12 times, the most in the league currently.
Yeah.
As a young team, you have to, because majority, look, that's 21 points. He had 41 shots with only 24 makes. So you shot about 50% and 21 for 23 from the line.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy. And it goes to what you said. Wemby is small, bro. Like, you gotta understand.
He's not small.
Tall. What I mean, he's slender.
He's small at stature.
Slender man.
Right.
But that's what we're getting into. And we seen the clip when Embiid went to size him up real quick on the low. He walked behind him and he set the little prayer. That prayer wasn't for Embiid. That prayer was barbecue chicken prayer. That but that's exactly what that was. And when you think about it, Wemby was doing what he does. He was stepping back a little, just contesting with his hands and things like that. But it's just like at the end of the day, Embiid is like one of the most dominant post players since Shaq.
Yeah.
In this era right now. Yeah, as far as once he get on the block and then he has the ability to shoot that mid-range too. So it puts you in a conundrum like, yo, I gotta stop the mid-range, but then he just gonna barrel through my chest and I'm out of position. So I kind of get the foul. So
Yeah.
it's a tough matchup because at the end of the day, when Zach Collins came into the game, Zach was playing him more straight up with more body, but it's just the fact that Embiid is so strong. It's just like it didn't matter whether you had you had to have Zach and Wemby, and you needed 6 people on the court to stop this guy at this point. Put
Yeah.
both of them in, you probably had a chance. That 10-point win, that would have
Yeah.
been you could have went it to overtime maybe, and you still would have lost, but you would have went it to overtime. I still would have think, you know what I mean? But it's just a real tough matchup. And I
Yeah.
think Embiid had to do it because he's like, yo, Wemby's gonna be on that podcast one day. He's been on podcast. He's gonna be on that podcast. If you don't know what the podcast, the Knucklehead podcast, when they say when you first came into the league, who was the first person to bust your and Wemby's gonna be like, MB, he gave me 70. You know what I mean? His name was always gonna be etched in stone for somebody who busts Wemby's butt off.
I mean, but
rip.
Wemby ain't slouched though. I mean, he still had 33
He's
himself.
not.
You
He
know,
had a fantastic game.
Yeah. So I mean,
But
I'm not all that mad at it, but
you're going against the last year's MVP and possibly this year. So
yeah,
deal with it.
I mean, I think all right. So this is the argument because this is gonna be the argument probably for the next couple of years. The Joker and Embiid comparisons, and the only reason why I really don't like the comparison is because they're two totally different players for what they do for their teams. And the thing is, in my humble opinion, I think that if you remove Joker from Denver, they don't really lose that much of a beat. Embiid leaves Philadelphia today, they are a tanking franchise. They are. They're tanking. They're tanking. They are, bro. I mean, that's just the crux of it. Because if you look at Denver, they don't. Philly wins because of Embiid.
But you sound
Whereas
like it's
Denver,
gonna be that far off
with Joker. I feel like they're not going to lose that much of a beat losing Joker. Joker could get injured right now, they'll still be top in the West currently. I don't think that they'll win a shit without Joker, but they could go on a playoff run.
They can't go on a playoff run. I'm gonna tell you this right now. They are not going on the playoff run. The most they're gonna do is get in that first round and get bumped out. That's the most you're doing, and that's the only difference that's gonna be between. Yes, that's the only difference that's gonna happen with Philly and Denver. Is Philly might not make it. They probably could be in the middle of the pack. They're gonna be like Toronto or making a play in or something. Yeah, they got no. You're wild. I got more respect for that. I got more respect for them than that. I think they could be in a playing type of run, but absolutely not. They're not going to be the same. But they're not even making a run. Denver's not making a run.
But we can agree that the comparisons. The only reason why there's a comparison is because they're big. But they're two totally different players. They're two totally different styles of how they play.
They are. One's more of a scorer, one's more of a complete player. Like as far as like no passing, it's just like you got to give it like a Magic Larry Bird type of thing. I guess I don't know. Just they kind of similar, but they're different.
Yeah, I like that comparison.
You know what I'm saying?
That's a little, But I mean, and I think that Embiid is a better defender than Joker.
Yeah, all the way.
Yeah, but yeah, that's I think that the only comparison that they really have is their positions. When you look at their style of play, they're two totally different players. Joker is more predicated on playmaking and passing, getting others involved, and then he does his damage. Whereas Embiid is give me the ball. I'm gonna do as much damage as I can, and I need whoever's gonna chip in.
But it's like you said, it's the fact that they're big men, and that's what's always going to happen. It don't matter your play style. It don't matter how you play. At the end of the day, we comparing Kyrie versus Steph Curry, and they play completely different. But we'll never even truly be like, we'll never truly switch the conversation like who's the real better PG. No. So it's just like they're the same position, so you have to compare them, and it's like different styles. But which style is being more dominant? is the true comparison. No, I just mean I'm not talking about with that.
No,
I'm
no.
back to the big now. Like who's the better? You know what I mean? So
No,
it's
I
just
got
like
you.
at the end of the day, it's different styles, but who's truly being more dominant? And right
Lump
now,
Stark says they both are. What the hell? I'm not sure exactly which comment
when he
you're
came
commenting
in,
to. I said
yeah,
a whole bunch of stuff, so you have to be a little
so yeah,
specific. But nah, I mean,
we love you, buddy.
where would you put as far as Embiid and Joker right now? Who has the edge currently?
Oh,
Who
of course.
it's
You
a
got to give it to MB. Like it's
yeah.
yeah. Hey, look, Joker's my MVP because I like his play style more, but it's just
Right.
how dominant we're watching Joel Embiid be one of the best scorers ever right now in the
Yeah,
modern day basketball
at the big, and
at
there
the
hasn't
big
been a player
position.
like that
So it's
since
just
Shaq.
it hasn't. So it's just like you have to give it to him at this moment, no matter how much you like a player and how complete their play style is. It's just like because if we went on that, LeBron would have just been MVP all year, every year, nonstop.
Yeah,
So it's just like whoever's just more dominant. That's just what it is. And then right now, Embiid is kicking ass.
they will fall off. I think. My bad. Um, I think that their play, well, Joker's play style is more predicated. His play style, the way that he plays, there's not going to be that much of a fall off. I mean, you don't just like get older and just start making bad passes like
No,
like that.
I
Just
think
doesn't happen.
he's talking about the two teams. There'll be more of a fall off for Denver, is what he's saying
Oh,
probably. So I
yeah.
think so too. Like I think the most like and you said it right now. If it was right now, it happened, they would be in the playoffs. But without him, I think they'll still possibly
I
be
mean,
a
I just think
playoff
that
team. It's just
Denver
like it's
supporting
tough.
cast around Joker
It
it,
is.
it's a better supporting cast.
It
He's
is.
doing
But
less. I want to say he's doing less than Embiid. What I mean is that there's less for him to do than Embiid has to do on a nightly basis because of the sum of his parts. He has they're not superstars. They're not like really, I don't want to call them stars, but they're star level role players. I mean, Joker has better role players in Denver
yeah,
than Embiid has in Philly. That's the only reason
but
why I say if Joker was to get
no.
injured today, they're still a playoff team.
Yeah, but they would,
Whereas,
man, and like you said, they'll make a playoff run right now. I ain't
right,
gonna lie, the only person who could possibly on that team create a shot by himself truly is Murray. Yeah.
yeah, Ms.
So
Murray,
it's like after that, the
you still
person
have to
who
set
gets
it up
all
and
these
yeah,
exactly the people who gets all the rest of them involved and get them in their easy shots
it's
is
Joker.
Jokic. So that's why it's like, nah, it's not gonna work because now you're gonna have Murray trying to be a true point guard and mess up his own game, and we're
Right.
witnessing that on 2K. But you're gonna have a shooting guard try to play point guard and ruin his game and mess up his own,
Uh-huh.
his own situation to try to appease others, and it's just like it's not gonna work. So it's just like you could get
Uh,
yourself to the playoffs, you could beat a few teams, but you ain't gonna make it to the big show.
that was a cold-blooded sub. Cold-blooded sub. Jeez, you should work. You could work at Subway throwing subs like that. That is crazy. That's crazy. But let's get into Phoenix and LA, man. LA they're playing fantastic right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, I
I
think this
gotta
is a
give
fantastic subject. Sorry to interrupt. This is a fantastic subject because I wanted to talk about Phoenix
yeah. You
and you
want to talk
wanted
about
to
Phoenix?
talk
I want to talk
about
about the
the
Clippers.
Clippers.
Yeah,
So I think just putting this into one is fantastic, and we're gonna go into that because I think it goes into something else too. I don't know if you're ready,
yeah.
but go ahead. You
No,
go
I
ahead.
mean,
Keep
but
it going. I had to
I
let
already
you
know
give
where
you
you're
the
coming up with this
prequel.
because Phoenix is on a 6-game win streak. You got Book back, and Book is playing phenomenal. You got KD being efficient, and Bill is even chipping in. So I mean,
Yeah.
I think that like I said at the beginning of the season, I said that the Phoenix is going to be a force they're only going to go as far as those three are going to take them because the surrounding parts are not that good. And I still believe that. I still wholeheartedly believe that the parts that they have in Phoenix, they don't Oh, that is Stokes. He said, "Damn, you had to bring up 2K. That's mad funny." Um, but I believe that the parts around them in Phoenix, they're not going to what happens on a night where KD is off, Book is off, and then you're in the playoffs, and it's a pivotal playoff game because series are not won, game 1 or game 2. Series are won in the middle, game 3 to 6. Those that's when it's really won. That's where you get the momentum. Can we turn the tides and get to a game 6, get to a game 7? If I could get to a game 6, I could force a game 7. Momentum has changed. Games are won in the middle of these, in the middle of a series. So what happens in the third game? Let's say the fourth game, or let's say they're tied 2-2. We're going into the fifth game. KD has an off night. Book has an off night. Bill has an off night. That fifth game is pivotal. What happens then? I just don't think that what they have right now, until they make, and it's going to be very hard because they don't have the pieces, but until they make a trade, until they could solidify their bench, until they could bring somebody in that could give you a little bit more confidence. Okay, well, who's going to come off the bench and be a spark for us? They don't have a spark. They don't have, and the craziest thing is there's pieces out there. There's pieces out there right now that they could go out and grab that could possibly give you some kind of spark. I just don't see it in Phoenix right now. But I do see it for the Clippers. Clippers. Because their spark is Russ. Let's keep it a buck. Their spark is Russ.
Yeah, and I'm with you on that because you have a former MVP coming off the bench. So, he knows what it takes to go out there and get his team going and everything too. He's kind of a leader off the bench, no matter what they talk about. But it's just like you said, with Phoenix, and we're gonna go into like that's why I named it Whose Team anyway. Because last week we was talking, I'm gonna get into what you were saying, but last week we was talking, I was like, yo, it looks like it's Kevin Durant's team.
And I said,
and like Booker, and I'm like, yo, I know we know it's Bucks, but it's just like when we think about all the games that was fantastic for Phoenix so far, who had the biggest games? It was Kevin Durant until that moment in Pelicans where Devin Booker went crazy. And then what happened the following game? Booker went for like 20 points. He did regular 20 points, nothing crazy. Kevin Durant closed it out. So whose team is it anyway? It doesn't matter as long as these guys are healthy and they're playing. So like you said, as long as they're healthy, they're playing. It don't matter whose team, what's going on. But the problem we got to see is what Bill is going to do because Bill hasn't showed up yet.
Yeah, he hasn't.
And when we think about how these teams are playing, this is possibly a second round or even a first round matchup. Who knows how it goes? You know what I mean? Depends on, and I say that because, like you said, the most top heavy team right now is Phoenix until they make a trade.
Right.
So, an injury could delay everything. It could be a first round matchup or it could be a second round. And the thing about it, I think the depth and the talent that they have with the Clippers is a totality of depth would win out because, like we said, we seen Kawhi have a triple-double night. He could go off any night. Paul George has been going crazy. Who teams it over there? It doesn't matter. Each night, they're all going crazy one night. Paul George was holding down early. Oh, actually, Kawhi was holding down. Then Paul George. Yeah. And then, he finally saw out Paul George was doing this thing. And then we know Harder was sitting here showing them how to get them in any spots. Got Zubac looking crazy, everything. And it's just like, yo, this would be a fantastic first round matchup.
Well, right now, if the season ends today, the Suns would have the 6th seed, but they would see the Nuggets at the 3 seed. The Clippers would actually see the Pelicans.
See, that's what I'm saying. But based on how the season goes, if injuries happen, they get dropped down one, or the Clippers could go up one. It could be possibly a first round or second round matchup, and I would love to see it.
That would be. I think
it would be the best. I think it would be the best one in the West because they could match up with each other. They both play small at times, and it would be crazy.
I think the matchup I really want to see is Thunder Kings in the playoffs.
Thunder's Kings. I ain't gonna lie, I don't take no stock into the Kings, man. They've been selling my bag early. So you know,
They
OKC
got
for
the
the
7th seed
win.
right now.
But it's just, yeah, I understand, but it's no way they could deal with the 5 out of OKC, especially with big lumber bumper in the middle. The Monte Sabonis, he ain't getting out there with Chet.
Nah, he's not. He's
So
not.
Chet has the length and size to hold up against him. But
I wish we did our show yesterday.
What's up? What happened yesterday?
Because what is going on in Milwaukee? What is going on in Milwaukee? First of all, I just want to say, what exactly is Doc doing in these interviews? Like, what is he like? He gotta be either shaking ass. He gotta be. he gotta know. He gotta know like the best weed strain and plugging people in to where it's at. Like he gotta know something. Yeah. He knows somebody in every single office because he just keep getting jobs. Yeah. I don't even think he qualified for the one that he's about to get. I don't like this. I don't like this for Milwaukee. I think that Doc was a good coach, but
times have changed.
No, I'll put it this way. Doc is a great regular season coach. Great regular season. He'll get you through the regular season. I don't know about the playoffs, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, it's shown. At one championship in how many years has he been coaching?
I mean, no, we're gonna say up there though, like 10 plus years. So
yeah, I mean, he bought his way out of no. He started off in Boston, went to LA, bought his way out of LA, went to Philly. Now you're going to Milwaukee. I'm not really. I don't know if it's fully Giannis because they haven't really come out with the full reports and everything, and they're talking about it was the family rift thing and the brother and everything, and it's like it's the brother, and it's definitely the orgasm. It's definitely Giannis. I mean, Giannis is the face of the Bucks, and they want to keep him happy. So at the end of the day, if you know what I'm saying, if your star who you paying all this money to come up to the front office, like, look. He called my brother a bum. Hear me out. I know he a bum, but he's not gonna say he call my brother a bum. I can call my brother a bum. He can't call my brother a bum. It's like he's just like, look, what are you gonna do about it? They're like, Giannis, what do you want us to do? Said, what are you gonna do about it? I ain't gonna tell you nothing. You gonna do it. Yeah. Then they fired him. Like, I just don't get it.
I mean, you heard it. You know what I call him, Jan Diesel, because it's family first, family. So I had a feeling it was about some. You know what I mean? Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's just like, and we're gonna get on it too. The crazy thing too, right? Is another little detailed nugget of the situation. Is that Doc Rivers was a consultant to Adrian Griffin during his tenure of Milwaukee?
Nah, that's wild.
He was it was an inside job.
Nah, that's
Doc.
Easy.
Doc was dead in there, giving him some false information. And seeing him setting those plays up on there. It's like,
he was like,
it's
Doc was sitting there like, nah, bro, Giannis not gonna do nothing. Just tell Giannis about his brother. Like, just say it. Giannis don't care. Giannis knows.
Inside job, but like. We got to see how fast this happened. That's why I put it. You see that right there, same day delivery. Because we know how same day delivery works. You have to put an order in early enough in the day.
Yep.
For that shipment to get there that same day.
It'd be on a
So
time.
I'm never gonna lie. It's no way that you're gonna fire him and have Doc Rivers ready right there. You had to be talking to Doc Rivers already.
Yeah. I
it's
think
no way. They was
see.
Already had it. Yeah, they didn't see any adjustments. The team been getting worse on defense as the years going on.
Yeah.
Their offense is finally clicking because they finally just running together enough. Like that was gonna happen regardless. You have Dame and Giannis, but it's just like the defensive factor is what you have to go ahead on, and it's just like it was just getting worse. And he wasn't just standing there with his his hands in his pockets or anything, but hey, they had to get rid of him, and I'm not mad at it. But I'm on some. I don't really care for Doc Rivers either, because I feel like hey, he's living off of one championship,
Yeah.
and that's it. Because everywhere else it ain't work. We even got a story that Matisse Thybulle, who shout out to Matisse, he's been playing fantastic. He was shooting like 40% from three as a guy who was supposed to be a Cephalosha who just couldn't shoot. He's doing that thing. So shout out to him. He doesn't even want to go to Milwaukee now because Doc is there.
And that sucks because I think Matisse.
And that sucks because Matisse would have been fantastic there. But I'm just saying that goes to show that certain players just don't like him. And he just doesn't truly move the needle for me. I don't care. He had enough chances to be in the playoffs, make true adjustments, and make things happen. And he didn't do that. And he couldn't. It's not that he didn't. He couldn't convey it to the players to get the players to buy in to do it.
Yeah. Yeah, because I mean, you look at every single stop he's had, and you look at the rosters that have been constructed for him to coach, and they've been winning rosters. I mean, you had Chris Paul in his prime with the young Griffin, Lob City, and they could have done something, but they couldn't get out the second round. Then you got Philly with Harden, couldn't get out of the second round. It's even back to Boston, that one championship that they had after that, couldn't get out of the second round. So at the end of the day, it's like I don't buy into this whole Doc is just this fantastic coach that he needs to have a coaching position. It's just it's just not. I think that the worst decision that franchise made was firing Mike Budenholzer.
Bud. Let's just call him Bud and make it easier.
I mean, you fire a coach that brought you to a championship, and then you fire him because you didn't make it to the conference championships. And I mean, Giannis wasn't okay with it either. Like, you didn't even consult with your star player. Like, this is somebody that he loves, he reveres. Like, all the players love this coach. Like, they bought in, and you in the front office are salty because he brought you a championship but hasn't gotten back there. It's y'all only 3 years removed from the championship. 3 years. Yeah. And in 3 years, have you surrounded Giannis with the pieces to make it back? Has that team in totality been healthy enough to get back? I mean, the past 2 years, you've had Middleton injured. This is the healthiest Middleton has been in 3 years since the championship run. So at the end, and on top of that, now you have Dame, who's a better scorer than Drew. You're only missing the defense that Drew provided you. But other than that, your team is pretty much still intact. You just added a couple of pieces. This is the best your team has looked since that championship run. And you're telling me that Mike couldn't get you guys back to the conference championship and fight for a final spot? Because there's only 2 teams right now that arguably, in my opinion, at this point in time or going into the season, that we could both say that had a legitimate shot to go to the finals, and that's Boston and the Bucks.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, like, I don't want to hear all this. Oh, bro, you're second in the league right now, 30-13. Mike's still there. I guarantee y'all probably be first. Because I mean, what's the drop off? Celtics are 34-10. Mike is and Mike comes up with defensive schemes. That was the whole genius behind him. His knock was not coming up with innovative and smart offensive schemes and plays and drawing up offensive plays, but he got guys defensively into their spots. He had Drew operating at a high level. So at the end, I don't want to hear all that. Like, Mike didn't deserve to get fired, man. He didn't.
No. I'm with you on that. I don't think Mike deserved to get fired at all. Fantastic coach. He got, like you say, he got him and said defensive adjustments. He's stern with how his system worked, because at the beginning they didn't even really care for his system anyway, neither. Yeah. And he just said, no, this one's gonna work on us. Everybody was like, he's giving up too much threes. He's doing this, that, and the third. Guess what? They go ahead and win. Everybody gonna talk championships They wanted, technicality. People got hurt, foot on the line, whatever. But they went ahead and they won. And that's the big thing about it. They won it, got their stuff together during the regular season, kept it consistent during the playoffs, and they led them to a win. So that's the one thing. Is like, and you're going to get rid of him. Like, this is why teams don't have tenured coaches like the Spurs, and they don't have a system or structure going throughout the whole organization because they just getting rid of people, no matter if they won them a championship. I understand that coach, you brought him in for a year, he happened to win, like in the Lakers situation, you'd be like, yeah, actually, I don't know if you really want it for us truly, but you was a piece of the winning. I don't know if you're the coach for this situation right now while we're trying to build back up to get to that winning.
Yeah,
I can understand that. But if you as a coach who was there before, built up that system, actually got a win, you need more than another year. You know what I mean? The team should give you a grace of another year.
And I think
at least go ahead. And he deserved that. So for Bud, it was wrong. And
I think it's because they were the number one seed. Because it was the number one seed. But the thing is, like, you can't control. Miami was hot, bro.
Miami was hot, and then guess what? Your best player didn't play like 2 games at the beginning of the series, and he had to get back into that while these teams he's getting back into the flow of this. Why do these teams know what they're doing? Like, come on, it sucks for Bud. And I'm also want to sit here and talk about Doc real quick. I'm sorry. I'm not beating a dead horse or nothing, because this time I'm trying, you know what I mean? I always think it's too much negativities. I think, like you said, for the coach, for this point ejection, he could be the right coach. Like, and I'm gonna say it like this because he's not good with younger talent. And guess what? This team doesn't have much younger talent.
Yeah, they have
all he has to do it, and then we get into a situation in Boston and all of that stuff. Philly. It's just like, yo, Philly, you had Harden. We all know how we feel about Harden. Harden could be a douchebag, and I'm sure he was in that side of being a douchebag with all of that. He came and talked about he's a system, but at the end of the day, you got to get it be his touches for real. Like, I understand you want to run it like yours, but you got to get it be his touches. So it's like that was the disconnect, and it's like he couldn't make it work with them. So unfortunately, he don't know how to get that, but I think he has a good, solid team there with already chemistry with each other.
Yeah,
where he just has to slide in, you know what I mean, and make so he could possibly make work. I'd still doubt it, but I think for the situation, he is possibly one of the better coaches out there that's left on the market. Since I don't know how after you fire somebody, can you just like really rehire them? Like, oh, I'm sorry, you know what I mean? The salt's in the air, you know what I mean? Somebody's salty. I don't know if you could just bring Bud back. He'd be like, all right, cool, I'll step in, even though you fired me. You know what I mean?
I would.
They couldn't. I mean,
I would say Giannis.
The thing about it is nobody wants to be that person who sits back and like, yo, I'm calling you back because I did the wrong thing. Nobody wants. They just want to stand on that. Like, you know what? Let's go to the next, and hopefully this works. Yeah. So I ain't gonna no shit.
Break up with Shorty, and you just like, you messed up.
Yeah,
but you want to stand on business.
You standing on business. That's what they're doing. So I think Doc he could be fantastic for the situation. I ain't gonna, Clippers. There was injuries in there. Orlando, he did fantastic with them early in the year. Like, come on. I mean, Doc, you okay, but you're not. What everybody put you up to be. That's what it is. Yeah, I'm saying you good, but you're not great. So go ahead. Let's get on.
All right. So Miami made a trade with Charlotte. Terry Rozier goes out, and Kyle Lowry comes in.
And a trade and a pick as well, right?
Yeah, I think it was a first rounder.
Yeah, but the main is the players. Go ahead.
Yeah, but this was terrific in Miami. I think this was a steal. Mm-hmm. I mean, you're giving up. I mean, I don't want to say it's totally a steal. I mean, they did give up Kyle Lowry and the first, but I mean, Terry, he's at this point in his career compared to Lowry's. I mean, you're getting a much better player in production wise, and it gives Terry a better chance to be on the ball and have maximize his playing time, because he's not really gonna he wasn't really getting that in Charlotte, and he's not getting that in Charlotte because of the emergence of Melo. So I think it's good for them. I mean, they needed a point guard. I think that they lost a lot of they didn't understand how much production they was losing when they let whatchamacallit walk. What's his face? Who went to the Lakers?
Gabe Vincent.
Gabe, yeah. So I think that they didn't realize how much they was actually losing. Kyle Lowry is somebody that could give you quality production in spurts, but he's not somebody that you're gonna rely on for 20 minutes. And you need somebody that's gonna be out there for 20, 25 plus minutes at that point guard position to get guys like Jimmy and Bam and Hero into their spots. And then on top of that, Terry fits into that culture, to the Miami culture. The hard-nosed blue chip, the defense. Like he's not a rah-rah guy where he's totally defensive. But he's what I always talk about, being a willing defender. Terry's gonna be that. And he's somebody that fits into that culture of Miami. This feels more like a Spoelstra trade than it was a front office trade, in my opinion.
No, I could totally agree with that because what it does is it shores up that point guard position. Because no offense to Kyle Lowry, but for me, his highlights of this year was on the sideline trying to hope somebody missed a free throw, and that's saying enough. It's not nothing on the court. You feel me? So it's just like for you to go trade somebody who was giving you a 0 in my book for somebody who could add value to your team is fantastic. When you look at Terry Rozier, and I'm not sitting here saying I look for the stat or nothing, I was just listening to somebody say he was like top 5 in points per possession in the pick and roll action. Is going to be fantastic for Miami because they had situations with creating offense from guard positions, which Duncan Robinson has showed a being fantastic so far this year. Hero has obviously been showing the progression and everything. He's been giving you 20 points. And then now you added another guy who could give you 20 points like that. And it's just like, yo, at the end of the day, do we truly trust Tyler Hero and Duncan Robinson to be this in the biggest clutch moments you need? Do I even trust Terry Rozier? Maybe not. But guess what? Now you got 3 options to do it. Instead of just having 2 who could possibly do it, you got a third who could be like, all right, maybe I get hot this game and turn it up for you. So it's just like you're giving yourself a better chance between these guard rotations as far as always demanding your forwards to do something between Bam and Jimmy Butler.
Yeah.
So I think it's a fantastic move. It shores up what they needed, which is a scorer and a pick and roll distributor and everything. So I think it's a win for them. And I think it doesn't move anything crazy because the way the league looking, but it puts you in a position where it's like, yo, this is Miami Heat. We've seen what they could do with less. So it's just like, yo, it puts them in a position where they can make a run. This is a team I can sit there and say, yo, if you put Jokic on this team, that's a championship team. If you take away Jokic, this team could still possibly make a run. I wouldn't say that just about the Nuggets. But this right here, you know what I mean? So
yeah, I'm not mad at this trade. And of course, we're coming up on a trade deadline. We have the All-Star game in a couple of weeks. So I mean, this is in my opinion, this is just one of the many dominoes that's first gonna fall. There's gonna be more trades coming in the weeks. But I think that this trade it shores up Miami. It may not. This is one of those trades where it's like, you know how they have who adds wins to this team. This move, getting rid of Lowry, bringing in Terry, this is like a plus 10 win move. You know what I'm saying? Like this is gonna give them 10 more wins in my opinion. Whereas if they didn't make this trade, you're losing out on those 10 wins because of Lowry.
And so, it's not even the fact. I just want to interject. It's not even the fact that like Terry Rozier is going to be crazy big for them. It's just the fact that he opens the floor and everything to create their offense a better flow. So go ahead. Sorry.
No, you got.
Like, I don't want nobody to think we're thinking he's a superstar.
Not facts. But I was gonna say that this is also low key a good move for Charlotte too. You're shoring up more minutes for Melo, and you're giving him a proven vet that can give him a little bit more guidance at the point guard position in Lowry. Lowry obviously can't do everything Melo can do currently
Yeah,
or
nah,
ever in Lowry's career, but Lowry knows the point guard position. Lowry sees the floor at an elite level, or he had seen the floor at an elite level, and he's going to be able to give Melo tidbits
nah.
and
I
pointers
think
and guidance.
I ain't gonna lie. I think this is more like a Bruce Brown thing going on too. I think they're not gonna really try to have Lowry for even long, bro. I
I mean,
think
I'm not
he's
mad
gonna
if
be
they
somebody
do.
who's gonna be going by the
Yeah,
trade deadline because there's other teams who could still use his services.
yeah. I'm
Am
not mad
I
at that
am I
either.
gonna go for Lowry if I'm anybody? No, but there's other teams who still see him as like a solidifying factor off that bench who could give you a
Right.
few points and control the game.
Mhm.
But it's just like at the end of the day, he's still a small guard. He's not fast. I'm already gone on him. But they at least got a first round pick, and now we heard Charlotte's looking to move Bridges and the white boy. Yeah, the white boy who was in Boston too. Y'all know who I'm talking about.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. The headband.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, yeah. I know you're
eh?
talking. I forget his name
Not
too.
long hair.
Yeah, he got
Long
long hair. The white boy in
hair.
Boston.
No. He played in Boston. He's in Charlotte right now too. Hayward.
Oh, Gordon. I forgot
Yeah.
Gordon was in Boston. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Hey, oh yeah. He had played in there. You remember the first player of this year? First player of the year, him and Kyrie.
Huh? Besides, she doesn't.
Oh, no, that's fine. My
Jeez.
bad.
But yeah, he was in Boston. You remember the first player of the year, him and Kyrie linked up for that alley that went horribly wrong.
No, I mean I remember him getting injured. And all that.
Yeah.
I forgot that he was
Nah, I know
I
what you
forgot he was even
mean.
in the league, to be honest with you.
That's what I'm saying. Like he's been there, and
Yeah.
the thing is, he's been solid over there, but nobody watches Charlotte. That's why I was even surprised earlier. We did that Charlotte Toronto little bet thing. Like, yo, who would have a better season out of our worst teams on our list?
Mhm.
I was like, Charlotte. Like, who even thinks about them? But yeah, LaMelo always hurt, so it's
I
just
like
like,
Melo.
I don't know what you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, but he's always hurt, so it's like nothing you can do about that. But yeah, I think they still got moves they're gonna make just to get rid of players and do a little soft reset. Just
Yeah.
focus
I'm not
on
mad.
Melo and stuff. So I think that's what's gonna happen this year for them. So Lowry doing anything for Melo, yeah, probably for the next 2 weeks to 2 months, depending on how far somebody want to get him. But
Yeah. I'm
so,
not mad at that. Let's give our quick top 10 teams and get up out of here.
God damn, I did not think about that.
Yeah, man. Come on, man. I'll go first. I'll let
Oh
you.
man, you're gonna have me
Let
on the
you
fly.
So number one, I got the Celtics. Then I got the Thunder. Then I got the it's dicey. But then I got the Nuggets. Then I got the Clippers. Then I got the Timberwolves. Then I got the Bucks 76ers. Then I got the Suns. Yeah, I got the Suns. And for the first time all year, all season,
So
I got the Knicks at 10.
the Knicks.
At 10. Yes, sir.
The Knicks.
Yes,
All
sir.
right, I could agree with you. Said Boston number one, right? Yeah, they can't lose this mantle right now. They lost it last week though, but definitely gotta go Boston. I'm still high on OKC, so I don't care. I'll go OKC number 2.
Mhm.
Put them number 2. One of the hotter teams. I mean, Embiid just had a crazy game, but I think one of the teams that's obviously hotter than them right now is the Clippers. So I'm gonna go with the Clippers.
Okay.
Clippers shot all the way up. You feel me?
Like that.
Did I say? What else did I say? Yeah, I'm gonna go with Nuggets over the Sixers. I'm gonna go Nuggets and then Sixers, but just because
Okay.
Embiid just came back, so I feel like they still got another week. They'll definitely shoot up because Embiid's back, but
Mhm.
without him, they've been what I mean,
Yeah.
trash. So it's like, and I hate the Now I'm gonna go Bucks
Mhm.
next, and then Minnesota. Minnesota dropped far, bro, but they've been showing exactly what I was talking earlier. They've been showing.
Yeah, Minnesota dropped the Monzo.
Yeah, Minnesota. And then I'm gonna go Phoenix. Phoenix been high.
Yeah,
Phoenix been high. Then the Pelicans.
I'm mad at
Because we
that.
can't sleep. We can't sleep on the Pelicans.
I'm mad at that. Pelicans been
We
balling.
can't.
But
The
I did
Knicks
put
is
the Knicks
outside
up.
though. I don't know. The
Knicks
Knicks is
above the
outside.
Pelicans.
I'm
Reason why I
I
put the
don't
Knicks
know it.
above the Pelicans only
Uh-huh.
because the Pelicans in their last 5 games they went 2-5. In the Knicks last 5 games they went 4-1, and they're currently on a four game winning streak.
They went 2-3, man. Because
The
you said their
Pelicans,
last five, you said their last five, they went 2-5. I was like, I can count.
their last 5, 2-2, yeah, they went 2-5, 2 wins, 2-3. Yeah, my bad.
I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah, I'm bugging.
What?
But yeah, so yeah, their last 5 games they was 2-3.
But who they
So
play?
and they're currently on a 1-game winning streak.
Yeah,
hold
but
on,
they played They played good teams though. Like they did.
yeah, but I'm not
I mean,
mad
you
at
still,
that. But
you know what I
I'm
mean?
telling you,
Like
I
you
put the
can't.
Knicks above them because the Knicks also played a
The
bunch of
Knicks
good
just beat
teams.
Brooklyn.
Yeah, they smoked. Well, they ain't smoke them, but they beat
Yeah, they
Brooklyn. But
just
they're on a
beat
4-game
Brooklyn.
win streak. They on
All right,
a
all right.
4-game win streak, bro.
I'm not mad. They
On a
right
4-game win
outside,
streak, bro.
man. They right outside
Like,
because I'm still my last spot is gonna be the Mavs. I had them like the last time I did it. They was in the 10th spot last time I did it. They still gonna be in the 10th spot now because Kyrie been showing that he was fantastic. Luka came back and he's still looking fantastic. So I'm gonna go with that. But the Knicks
I'm
is
not
right
mad at
out
that.
there,
I'm
bro.
not mad at that
The
though. I
Knicks,
mean, because you look
Knicks
at their
and then the
wins.
Cavs. Let me get some Cavs love. The Knicks and the Cavs is the two teams that's outside because the Cavs have been playing fantastic. Donovan Mitchell
Nah,
been going
Cavs been
crazy,
balling too. I ain't gonna lie to you. Cavs been balling
and
too.
then I want
I like the
to
Knicks.
give Brunson a shout out this week, man. I ain't gonna lie. Because I seen somebody talk about how casual fans is the fans. Well, fan votes go, who got the aura. And when you think about it, like the last few games, the people who've been putting up similar numbers has been Brunson and Shea. We're gonna put it up there like that. We look at Shea like an MVP and not Brunson. You feel me? But it's just like how it goes. That NBA fans is who they are. The media is who they are, and we're gonna go with the aura. Because guess what? Who just got a little? It just looks a little better when motherfucking Shea does it. Let's keep it honest. It looks a lot better. Because Brunson is a little tree stump. He be putting his body into people. He be a little gritty with it, and it just don't look as fluid as sexy. But with Shea do it, Shea got some length. He slammed that shit. Look, you know what I mean? So it's just like he got the aura about him. So it's just
more
like
effortless. Whereas
it looks
Brunson makes
smoother.
it look
It's smoother.
Yeah.
It's like I'm gonna keep it a stack with you. When Shea came in the league, and it was perfect that Paul George and Shea got traded for each other. Because when I've seen him in the first year, I was like, Shea gives me like if Paul George was shorter, he just went to the rack a little bit more. That's him right there.
Yeah.
And it just like they happened to get traded for each other later. I was like, yo, because they're both just smooth with all their movements. So it's just like, yo, and I think that's why Shea, when you look at Shea sexuals, and we're gonna say it, that he got the Shea sexuals online and everything. That Shea Twitter is crazy. And I was like, it's just because he makes the game look smoother than a lot of people. That's why Paul George is other people's go, because Paul George just makes the game look smooth. So it's just like, that's what I think. Like the next few, when you see these next era of basketball, these guards coming in, a lot of them gonna look at Shea as inspiration. I'm just letting y'all know now.
Nah, facts. I agree. Because Shea different.
Yeah.
Shea different.
So Brunson different too.
Hater. I got called the hater because my take on Shea. I wasn't hating, man. I expect a lot from Shay. You know, I
He was out here looking like Shaq.
Nah, really, I always like Shay. I want him on the Knicks. You know, maybe I'm a little hater. I want him in New York so bad that I'm gotta hate a little bit. You know, he could have been in New York. But yeah, man, that's our episode, man. Take us up out of here.
Man. Y'all already know the vibes, man. Like, share, sub, and all the above. We are signing out. Make sure you tell your grandma, your grandpa, your auntie, your uncle, everybody about us. Your friend, your best friend, your enemy, your hater, all. Hey.
Yeah, I'm back, straight